Anyway, welcome to another Ink and Paint Club review. This week we're reviewing the new Simpsons episode, not the Treehouse of Horror, but rather just a Halloween episode. Yeah.
Are you going to introduce anyone
Oh
else?
right. As per usual, I'm JD.
I'm silently Kyle.
I don't get an introduction, so what do you care?
That's
I'm
that's Andy. Everybody, he's delightful.
Candy.
Uh, if you're new here, Ink and Paint Club is a just podcastery show where we talk about cartoons and stuff, and please like, comment, subscribe afterwards if you enjoyed this episode. That'd be really cool of you. So we're gonna be talking about the latest Simpsons episode. Kyle, I'm gonna let you take the reins on this because you're the resident Simpsons super fan.
I wouldn't call myself that ever.
You're still watching the show.
Okay, you're more knowledgeable about the Simpsons than I am. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Infinitely more knowledgeable.
Well, as you may know, The Simpsons have been in a dark place for the past 10 years.
Is it been
But,
10? I thought it was more.
10, 15, whatever. Anyways, so the new episode came out last night. I honestly thought it was going to be the Treehouse of Horror, which is probably what everybody kind of looks forward to, even if...
That's what I thought it was, and you told me to watch it.
Well, I did too, but then I saw it. I was like, eh. But no, it's like the week before Halloween episode.
That was kind of
Wait,
kind of
no,
interesting.
I have a question. Do they always do this? Like, do they? Because they always just had the Treehouse of Horrors, right?
Yeah, that's always their
Right. So, because I watched The Simpsons quite religiously for a large period of time, and I don't remember there being any other Halloween episodes. I know
No,
there was
this-
I know when Homer was trying to sell his pumpkins for Halloween, but that was that was just a one-off joke.
you gotta sell your pumpkin profits before Halloween. But no, this is their first like quote unquote canon Halloween episode before the big storm.
Well, there you go.
But I didn't think it was all that bad, to be honest.
I was actually really surprised going into it because I dropped out of The Simpsons pretty hard, especially when I watched last year's Treehouse of Horror, if I remember right. And wasn't that when they did like the Dr. Seuss thing?
I think so. Was it with demons or something?
I don't know. It was forgettable. I remember that much.
Well,
It just- They've been in kind of a dark place, like as Kyle said. They've been in kind of a dark place, and this is the first new Simpsons episode I think I've actually like watched by choice.
yeah.
Well, recently, all the ones they haven't been like Halloweeny, which is kind of dumb to say, but like
You mean Mr. and Mrs. Smith is in a Halloween movie?
no, or that stupid fucking boat pie thing. If you
I
guys
have
remember.
no idea what that is, so I'm just
The
gonna take
Life
your
of
word for it.
Pi.
No, there
Oh.
was this one. There was this one where it was like a murder mystery on a ship, and it was some celebrity, and he told the story about pie and how it killed everybody on his cruise ship, and then I don't know, it was just fucking stupid. And then they ended up killing the guy, and then he wasn't really dead, and it was just so fucking dumb. It had nothing to do with Halloween. It was just like maybe a movie parody or something.
Okay, then.
But that's what they've been doing lately.
Didn't Family Guy do an episode that was basically a whodunit, and didn't they kind of do a better job?
Yeah.
It was the one with James Woods in it, even though he wasn't the killer, and it
Yeah.
actually had consequences.
Yeah.
But
Person stayed dead. But in this Simpsons episode was like Homer bought he bought Halloween decorations from a pop-up store, and they kept saying it, oh, it's a pop-up store, and they kept making it like a thing. But I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Those things, it just exists. Like it isn't anything special. Those things just happen. I
I
don't know
thought
how.
it was no, I didn't take it like that. I thought it was kind of funny that they did kind of poke fun at the fact that they had to go buy, replacement Halloween stuff, and when they were going out looking for the store, they found, the Halloween Superstore, and then they find the official. Like I thought that was kind of
that
funny
was kind of
because I
funny.
know exactly what they're. I That is true. You'll see Spirit of Halloween, the best of Halloween. Like I don't know the names of these stores are
There,
pretty much the
there's
same.
a Spirit Halloween that is literally 5 steps outside my apartment complex.
Yeah, like they're all over the place. They
Yeah.
literally are pop-up stores because I know where the buildings
Yeah,
are.
there's always these random empty buildings everywhere, and then the holiday stores will just jump in there for a month or two,
Yeah,
and
but
then they'll leave.
they made it seem like a thing because they're like, oh, what about Easter and Thanksgiving? It's like that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, like you get Halloween and maybe Christmas, and that's about it.
Well, no, but I think they're making fun of the fact that those workers, the pop-up workers, it was like an exaggeration about drifters.
Yeah, basically.
Like, they go from store to store because after the Halloween store is gone, they go to probably get seasonal work during Easter or something like that, and then they move on to another store. I think it was just trying to poke fun at the whole drifter lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was over the top, but no weirder than
And
a lot
then
of other things in The Simpsons.
there's like this whole other subplot about like I guess the Bart and Lisa are going to this big horror festival or whatever.
It's
Well,
basically
that's
Fright Fest.
Yeah,
If you're
it's
familiar with the
basically
film.
any you if you have a theme park near you, they always have stuff going around the Halloween. I mean, I technically work at a theme park and they've got a horror thing on stuff on the weekends and
Well, yeah, and I think it's also poking fun and referencing the Rob Zombie American Nightmare. Like all those big celebrity branded, because Krusty the
right,
Clown's advertising it.
right.
it's
So
crust.
it's Krusty, It's Krusty
Yeah,
the Clown. He's their he's their biggest icon.
yeah. But
Uh,
go ahead, Kyle.
oh, I was gonna say his little off topic, but I remember they did it for Universal Florida. It looks so fucking cool, but it was Penn and Teller was doing um, Universal Studios, and it was like radioactive Vegas. Oh
Uh-oh.
my god, that looks so fucking cool. But over here we have like Elvira doing her thing, which is pretty cool too.
That's pretty
I'm
sweet.
very upset about that. I'm not there for that. To throw
Um,
back to another episode, I have a deep infatuation with Elvira, which I'm sure isn't all that strange.
No,
I-
we know, Andy. It's okay.
so
Trying to
so
reference
About that
episodes.
plot.
so Homer buys he buys decorations under the table from these people, and they kind of steal from him. And he rats them out. They get fired, and they kind of say that they're gonna get revenge on it. So then you have the thing where Bart and Lisa go to a theme park. It's Krusty Land, and
Oh, it's Lisa's first time, so she's really excited about it.
yeah, they're making fun that these things are like super gory and super scary, and like this was like the good refreshing thing. She wasn't treated like a college kid. She was treated like an 8-year-old. She was scared out of her mind with this fucking.
That scene was fucking funny though.
No, I have a very mixed feelings about how they handled her in this episode because I was like, on the one hand, yeah, she's a small child and she got scared. I can very much relate to this because I had similar things happen as a child. But like the way she like kind of regressed seemed like very counterintuitive to how her character is. Because she basically regressed to like a very young child in terms of like how she's acting scared. It just seemed very out of character, at least to me.
I don't know. I kind of think it worked. I liked it because it, like Kyle said, they treated her like an 8-year-old. Because for a while there, like I mean, I don't know if it's still the same, but Lisa has pretty much become like the focal point of The Simpsons, from what I understand, and it's it's not a lot of fun because she's basically portrayed as this perfect, smart, intelligent character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I felt it made sense for an 8-year-old to completely lose her mind when you consider the fact that the special effects at the place were people ripping their faces off and losing like Homer, which I thought was one of the funniest things in the episode is when Homer says, "Come on, we're gonna walk through this group of shambling zombies," and Lisa gets separated, and it turns out Homer grabbed Hans Mole Man.
My,
And
my,
it was there was so many stupid like that. That reminded me of like classic Simpsons humor.
Yeah.
I don't know. My favorite, or
Like, come on, I'm not your daughter. Like, what's going on? And he's
Like
like,
it just kind of reminded me in the episode where Bart ends up living with Mr. Burns and Homer doesn't even realize because they deprogram. Basically, in that episode, Hans Mole Man is deprogrammed because they think they're rescuing him. They think he's Bart, and he basically gets deprogrammed into being their son. And Homer is like all happy to see him again. And
like
Hans Mole Man walks out dressed as Bart later in the episode.
jeez.
he's like, Mom, Dad, I love you.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It just that little scene with Hans Mole Man felt like an old Simpsons joke almost.
So like later on, she gets scared. She gets like this old stuffed animal that's been worn down to just a tail. They call it Taily, and she kind of uses that as the crutch to get through this kind of crap. They end up taking all their decorations down because she's scared, and it's weird because that just happened in the news. I want to say somewhere in Ohio got in trouble because the decorations were too scary for children, and they had to take it down. And then another interesting point was someone had this woman impaled on their fence, and it turned out to be real.
Oh.
And I've always wanted to see where someone had this like terrible decoration, but it ended up being real. Like it finally happened.
Well,
But anyways, so those people end up breaking into the house.
which
They,
the pop up people.
yeah, they end up using the decorations against them. They get arrested and they end up going to jail. But Wiggum says that they'll help him out and get him a 99-cent store
Yeah.
job. The
And-
B plot was dumb because it was just Bart kind of
Yeah.
mentality.
The whole B plot of this episode is just like, oh, we need them to be doing something this episode because they don't factor into the other plot.
It just bothered me because it's like you can't fucking park like a block down and just walk in.
Right.
You can't drop Bart off and have him trick or treat. Like it was so fucking stupid. That's what bothers me with cartoons where it's just like one way track and that's all the plot can go. Like I don't know, that bothers me. It's the whole fucking being trapped in a jail cell that you can easily slip out, but characters never think of that.
Yeah, you know. But Kyle, what would you say your favorite part of this episode was? Do you need a minute?
No, probably the theme park part.
Just that whole scene of them Lisa flipping her shit.
Yeah.
I thought the scene where during that scene, I thought the whole protocol that the amusement park went down to because Lisa. I thought it was so hilarious and over the top, like how they had like the security cameras scan for fear.
It seemed like an old like Itchy and Scratchy Land thing where they had like this big underground security center where they're like I don't know working beneath the scenes. It seemed like that, the whole Itchy and Scratchy Land thing.
I thought it was like a throwback to just how I didn't even think it was a throwback. I just thought it was kind of a joke or a reference to how over the top sometimes the response can be to someone getting freaked out, like how they have to shut down the whole ride or anything like that if some kid gets scared or something on an amusement park ride. It was just an over the top take on that. But I thought it was really funny, just the whole shut it down, shut the whole thing down.
We got a
And
big
it's-
baby here.
Yeah, like just the fact that they kept on making fun of her for being a baby about it, and
That was so sad, though.
I mean, well, no offense, Lisa was one of those characters that just never seemed to Like it was very rare for her to suffer indignity, so it was kind of nice to see a human side to her.
True.
Like it's like they used to do that. I know it seemed like they stopped doing that, but then again, I haven't watched the show in God knows how long.
She's always in the right. There's a lot of episodes where people get pissed off because she's right and everything's wrong, even though she's wrong. But no, it was cool. That whole part was funny. It took 6 hours to reboot, and then it's like, why? Because it's fucking actors. Like, there's nothing to reboot.
Eh.
But
Hey,
you know how it is whenever they would do that once again at amusement parks. If one kid ruined it for everybody,
Oh yeah,
like it just seemed like I don't know. This episode just felt really spot on with a lot of references. Though the worst reference in it would definitely have to be the unfortunate musical number.
oh god, yes, let's please talk about the horrible Rocky Horror parody
I
song.
was, I mean, the concept of it was kind of funny, I thought, but just
Yeah, so there's this fucking musical number out of nowhere where it's them parroting Time Warp from Rocky Horror about how after like 9 o'clock all the kids go to bed, so it becomes adult Halloween where they can get away with like really fucked up shit.
it just no, it just goes into how when you go, when the adult Halloween parties are incredibly different from, the kid-friendly side of the holiday. You
Right.
have they're making fun of, parents dressing in inappropriate costumes like Chief Wiggum, I think, was Bondage Frankenstein and his wife.
yeah.
I did like
Yeah.
the Wolf Castle guy was Jessica Rabbit.
I like no,
That was funny.
the biggest standout for me was the fact that out of nowhere, you don't even see him, I think, during the musical number, but later, Superintendent Chalmers is dressed up as Zardoz.
Oh, that's who he was. Okay,
Like out of nowhere.
I thought he
and
looked familiar.
It was such a funny out of the blue reference, and even in the when they were going back, another thing that they were making fun of is Bart dressed up as a pirate to go to school in his
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
costume, and Principal Skinner, they make him have to take away the weapons, the bandana because of gang affiliation potential, and then
The
just
eye
in case
patch
any-
is belittling the half blind.
they really kind of it was like in King of the Hill when they did their Halloween episode about how some people just can't have fun with it, and I thought that was actually really good.
Well,
How they, and he has to wear a sash that's as safe just in case anyone's actually afraid of pirates.
and, what bothered me about that was they had so many kids in front of him, like, stupid database was dressed as a Minecraft character with a sword and everything, and he didn't get shit on.
Because he's a smart kid, and you know how that's how it always went.
Oh yeah.
The
But-
smart students never got in trouble. I thought it was funny that Lewis, the black kid, was dressed as Prince.
Of course he is.
I thought that was actually kind of funny.
Jesus. Oh yeah.
I thought the Bart subplot had potential, but just didn't.
Yeah, it just seemed like filler to me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but sometimes, unfortunately, B plots would get kind of relegated to that,
Yeah.
and that's just unfortunate. But then again, I think it was also, I think they kind of realized as well that the A plot, Lisa and Homer defending the house from the, I thought that was much better. I thought that was a much better, that was the better plot. I thought it was better that they kind of focused on that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Really fucking stupid that he got excited when he got home and was like, "Oh man, the decorations are back up," and he just missed Halloween, going door to door, getting candy and everything. But his whole night was fixed because they put the decorations back up. Like that.
Well, because
Small
and
victories.
there were a bunch of people at the house. There clearly was candy at some point. He grabbed it. At least it kind of. You're a 10-year-old kid. You're excited to see anything.
The other one was so cooler though. Like that's so
But
bothered.
yeah.
Hey man,
But
you,
you're
you
living
take
in-
what you
you're
can
living in
get.
the past. Yeah, I mean, he had to make peace with the fact that, and it's a fucking Simpsons. I mean, let's just be honest here.
Yeah.
We're really
Rested.
expecting too much from this franchise that's pretty much spinning its wheels to make money now.
I will say, as like someone who has not watched The Simpsons in a long time, this episode reminded me that Homer Simpson is very much a better father than Peter Griffin ever will be.
No, this was a rare case from what I understand, and I was really happy to see it because
Yeah, I was like, I
they
don't.
actually, surprised, they actually portrayed Homer as being a surprisingly well-meaning
Yeah, he
like
was all
father.
supportive of like, okay, like, because if this happened on Family Guy, Peter would have been a huge dick about it, and like, no, fuck it, we're not like taking down our decorations to support our daughter. Homer's like, all right, let's just do it. This is just what we do.
Well, no, but he had reasonable resistance to it. I mean, Family Guy is a different type of family humor. I think they kind of my theory is that they realized that Family Guy realized they can't reach that level of humor anymore, so they just went the easy route of just having it be mean-spirited and hateful.
Yeah,
Like, and I mean, I mean, they did that with The Simpsons too. Homer stopped being a good father for, like, I mean, at least a supportive father. He just ended up being a moron.
yeah,
But this time they actually did, like, yeah, he's, stupid. He even admits it himself in this episode, which was kind of funny. But he genuinely cares about the safety of Lisa, about, like, when the pop-up people decide to start, attacking the house, he does everything in his power to keep Lisa from even knowing about it because he knows how messed up she is right now.
hmm
Like, it was a rare case, like, at least from what I haven't seen in a long time, where Homer was actually being a well-meaning good father.
yeah. It was nice to see.
Like, it was actually kind of like that scene in the attic was actually kind of a tender moment.
It was refreshing to see after all the bullshit from everything. Like 15 years, it was pretty refreshing to see something that was mildly enjoyable come
Yeah,
out from Simpson.
yeah. I will say that the I don't know why this scene made me laugh so much. Um, but the like right after Lisa gets scared for the first time, she runs back to Homer and he's like, "I want to go home." He's like, "Well, I think it's important that you stay, and it's not just because the tickets were really expensive,
Oh
because they were
yeah,
really expensive." And he just keeps going on about it.
well, like, but he's going on about it in like a backwards kind of way. You need to, this stuff isn't. I like the fact that while he's explaining this, there's a giant Cthulhu
Right.
that goes stomping by in the background.
I don't know. That scene was just gold for me. I don't
It
know
was.
why.
It felt like another kind of almost classic Simpsons joke. It
Yeah.
was kind of a little more subtle.
Yeah.
And granted, it's not enough to make me want to watch the show again. I mean, this was a rare case for me to
Right.
actually bother watching it. But I mean, compared to the last times I've caught Simpsons and Halloween episodes in general from them, this one was I actually got a few decent laughs out of this.
Agreed. So, do either of you guys have any final thoughts on this episode before we wrap things up?
It was okay.
It was decent. The Time Warp parody was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like,
feel
I expect more from the show that has done amazing song parodies such as "Be My Vest" and the Quickie Mart. Who needs the Quickie Mart song?
it seemed like they
And
just to have everybody dressed in as silly costumes. Like
Yeah.
that was
they could have done it without trying to and painfully messing up the Time Warp.
yeah.
I mean, it's an iconic Halloween song for a lot of people. It's a staple at parties. I love Rocky Horror, so I was a little offended that they did such a bad job covering it. It just felt awkward and weird.
Yeah. Well,
But the jokes during it were okay. I really thought some of the background costumes and the joke about steampunk, because Miss Hoover is Miss Hoover is dressed as a steampunk whore, was it, or something?
something like that. Just
And it was just
skanky
kind of
steam.
funny. It just pointed out like how even though people complain about slutty Halloween costumes, it is mostly adults at parties getting stupid drunk wearing them.
Basically.
There was some good referential humor and good semi-topical humor.
The
Yeah.
time was like a big thing in JD's culture.
The Time Warp?
Why is it big in my culture?
because Cleveland, Ohio, Drew Carey, the
Oh,
whole that whole episode.
Oh, sure. Okay. Kyle, you really need to learn more about the state I live in.
I mean, you could at least give him some more credit than fucking referencing Drew Carey all the time. At least find something funny.
Yeah,
Drew Carey,
there's more to Ohio than just Drew Carey and corn.
he does the prices right now. I love him.
Are you serious?
Okay, we're getting off topic, so I think I'm just gonna end this review. So,
Jeez.
uh, anyway, thank you everybody for listening. Like I said, if you thought this was funny or insightful or enjoyed it in any capacity, please, share this with your friends, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. There's links to all of our social medias in the description. The three of us have been doing a daily Drawloween Inktober kind of deal on Instagram, so be sure to check that out.
Check out the Instagram. I'm changing how we do our Twitter. I'm gonna actually, instead of just linking it from Instagram, I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way because it doesn't. It just feels so impersonal.
Awesome.
But,
Yeah.
no, follow us. I mean, I'm thinking, personally, I'm not sure if there's anyone listening to get their hopes up, but I'm thinking of trying to run some contest where you might be able to win like a request or something from at least me.
So there's your incentive, people. So check back on Wednesday where we will be talking about more Halloween stuff because it is still October. So that'll be fun. So until then, we'll see you later.
Good night, everybody.
Why?